So when we look at limiting beliefs, we have all heard this term before, and the reason why I'm covering this today is because there are so many people who are still viewing the world, and as they view the world, they are creating their world, right? So as they see the world through those deeply rooted limiting beliefs, which are buried in your unconscious, this then filters their reality. And as it does that, it inhibits what they're truly capable of creating. So it's not that you're not capable, it's just that the lens that you're looking through, which is the limiting beliefs, kind of that veil covering over, it just skews the reality. And once we remove some of those limiting beliefs, that perspective changes profoundly. So one of your jobs within the unconscious mind is to make your beliefs a reality, okay? And this can be a really good thing, and it can also be a very frustrating thing. So if you have a lot of baggage that you're lugging around with you, that could be emotional baggage, limiting beliefs, negative memories, things like that, then a lot of that is affecting your perceptions and your beliefs. The reality that you see is this tangible reflection of what's going on inside. So if you want to know, like, what are my limiting beliefs? You know, what is going on in my unconscious mind? All you need to do is look at your life, okay? Look at your career, look at your relationships, look at your finances, you know, look at your physical health. So a lot of those tangible reflections help you to uncover and see what some of those limiting beliefs are so that you can deal with them, okay? And if you don't like what you see and that reality that you're currently living, then just remember that you are the source of the change and transformation. And so when we look at triggers, people use this word. I sometimes feel like they overuse it. It's just everyone's triggered by everything. Everyone's gotten so sensitive, even the people who aren't sensitive. And so triggers are actually a good thing when we look at transformation, we look at NLP and that kind of deep work. Your triggers are actually good because they show you where you need to go. So I compare them to signposts that are on your path, and they kind of point you in the direction that needs healing. Okay, so they're not to be abhorred or feared or judged. A lot of people get into that sort of mode when they realize, like, oh, I'm being triggered, or oh, I have this negative thing going on. That's not a bad thing. It's actually more empowering if you know that you can actually change that. So they show you where to go, and that should give you some hope. So when we look at limiting beliefs and their impact on your life, this is a visual that I think will kind of illustrate why, when you have limiting beliefs, you don't get the results that you want. So incongruent beliefs at the unconscious level create incongruent results. And so when you set a goal with your conscious mind and you say, I want to do this, or I want to create this result in my life, and then you find that you're either doing the exact opposite or you're not doing anything at all, that means that your beliefs on the unconscious level do not match your goals. Okay? They're fighting against the goal. And there's always a reason. And usually that reason boils down to protection, an old way of being from long time ago. And I mentioned that most of those beliefs are formed before you're 7 years old. So that's kind of what happens. It's like, why is this not happening? Like, I know exactly what I want. And this is why I don't even bother setting goals with my clients until after we do the release work, because otherwise they're bringing in all of that other energy. And that energy, like I said before, it skews the result. Okay, so here's an example of what I mean, okay? This is an example of a belief that's in conflict with the unconscious mind. So say, for example, someone has a goal and they want to make $5,000 per month by June 2020. And it's a fairly realistic goal. It's set in the present tense, as all goals should be. I am making, right? So that's good. And it has a measurable time, right? So by June 2020. And so everything, it sounds really great as far as the construction of the goal. But what ends up happening is, if you have the unconscious belief that it's not safe to put myself out there, then you're probably not going to get the clients that you need or make the connections that you need to make in order to create that income. So even if you're telling yourself, right, on the conscious level, I'm capable, I'm qualified, I've got this degree, I have this experience, this certification, you have everything, all the boxes checked, that's conscious, right? Yes, yes, yes. And then there's that other part of you that still feels afraid or that it's unsafe to put yourself out there. Now, there could be many, many reasons why you have that belief, right? We're all different. We have all different histories. A lot of people are afraid to put themselves out there to be seen, to be heard. And there are reasons for that that are specific to that individual. But this is a very common limiting belief that I've heard. And it's not that you're not capable of creating that income. It's simply that your beliefs are in conflict consciously and then unconsciously. And when you have that, you've got yourself going in different directions, and that just doesn't work. So the unconscious mind, when you have a limiting belief there, it's almost like that part of you is in a survival mode, okay? It's no longer needed for you to be in that survival mode, right? It's outdated, it's old software. It's no longer necessary because you're probably not in the same situation that created that belief. However, there's still that piece of you that's kind of waiting, right? It's locked in time, waiting for that healing or that transformation at the unconscious level so that you can let that go and actually move toward your goal with both parts of you.